This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. A grand payout taking place today at the Grand Lucayan Resort property. After a protracted negotiation period, managers who signed up for the voluntary separation packages received their checks today. And as Italia Hall tells us, their chief negotiator says they are happy with the settlement.
It was a big day for managers at the Grand Lucayan Resort as the group officially received their voluntary separation packages following a settlement made between the government and the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association. Our ZNS news team arrived on the property shortly before 9 a.m. where we saw several employees leaving. Now, while some did not want to be on camera, others say they are just pleased that this day is finally here.
Well, it was a long time coming, and our union fought hard, they fought long, and we all work hard to get to this point today. And I thank God that we are actually here today, and it's going to happen.
I am relieved, and I just got to thank God. It's been a long, drawn-out process, but at the end, we're victorious.
According to reports, a meeting was held on the hotel property with the managers before they received their checks. That meeting included presidents of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas Trade Union Congress and the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association, Obi Ferguson, others within the labor movement, and executives of the Grand Lucayan Resort. During that meeting, managers were given some financial advice, and some said their final goodbyes.
About 35 or 40 of our members are still employed, but the deal we negotiated, they all will be protected. So even whenever their relationship is severed, they will be put in the same position those who would have gone today. The same benefits, the same arrangement. So it's a very good deal. I want to thank the Minister of Tourism, Mr. De Aguilar, and the government of the Bahamas for seeing the wisdom and helping us to present a Labor Day gift for the 90-plus workers who have severed their relationship with the company.
Union Representative Kirk Russell says he can say without a doubt that they are all satisfied with the packages they received.
We provided a financial forum for them a few months ago so that they could get proper advice on how to manage their monies moving forward. We did whatever was necessary to position our members to be successful in the future.
The total amount paid out to the managers is $4.4 million. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Today's payout's coming on the eve of Labor Day, a day set aside to pay homage to workers in the country. Here on Grand Bahama, the annual Sir Randall Fox Labor Day March and Rally will take a different route. Area Vice President for the BUT, Quintin LaRota, says this year the march is moving south.
At the entrance to the harbor on that precious lawn, we're going to march into Pindus Point and at the YMTA where we'll have our rally and our speeches. One of the things we made a conscious decision to do 4 years ago was to take the march into the communities. We used to march into town area and march up to the beach. But we said, we want to celebrate with the community. At the YMTA grounds, you will hear from your labor leaders as we bring forward our messages for our people.
Labor union leaders meeting with Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, at the office of the Prime Minister ahead of the Sir Randall Fox Labor Day holiday. The union leaders met with the minister to address in person various issues and concerns presented. Bahamas Union of Teachers Area Vice President Quintin LaRota says he feels that the meeting was productive and they plan to continue these meetings periodically.
We are very happy about this relationship. I think the Minister for Grand Bahama is setting a good example of how you treat with unions and how you deal with labor issues, and I want to congratulate him and his team on their attitude, because I think one of the hurdles we have in the labor movement is sometimes the negative attitude people would have towards unions. Unions are a creature of law. We exist for a particular purpose, and our fight is a good fight. And it's very good to see when you find common ground with those in management and government, that they can join you in trying to resolve the issues that plague the workers in the country.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, acknowledging Labor Day as a day to recognize and uplift workers. He is also thanking the union leaders for being advocates for not just workers, but Grand Bahama workers.
They have been have done a very good job in articulating the concerns for Grand Bahamians. They've articulated the concerns for Grand Bahama workers. We've had a very productive meeting. We have been able to respond to a number of their concerns. There are a number of concerns that we will have to continue to work on, and we have committed to continuing to work with them. We believe that this is the right approach that we should take, that we should sit down at the table, we should listen, and we should do what we can to assist the unions who are advocating for the workers.
Still on labor, this Labor Day, local leaders in the labor movement will recognize two of their very own. These honorees are said to be role model unionists who have impacted industrial relations on Grand Bahama. Natalie Martinborough has the story.
I was 25 years old when this building was building, and I was a part of the fundraiser for that, so it's very special to be here in this building again.
Edmund Tootal Campbell has been involved with the labor movement since the 1970s, starting out as a shop steward with Freeport Power, Contel, then Batelco. He was later elected Area Vice President of the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union. He served for 5 years, retiring from Batelco in 2011. Humbled by the recognition, he says the labor movement has certainly changed since he stepped off the scene.
The union always have to work hand in hand with management to see that things go well. You can't just think about yourself all the time. You have to always be thinking, what can I do for a friend, right? And always be a listener. Because when you are a union representative, there's always three sides to the story.
Shandokan Wilson served as president of the Bahamas Customs and Immigration Allied Workers Union for 4 years. He led the charge for improved benefits and working conditions for his members, but today he is no longer at the forefront of the movement.
Since I left the scene, the union, my union in particular, you can't hear anything, so I don't know if it's functioning how it should be, but I know it's a lot of work that's still left to be done. Continue to do what you have to do for your members. Don't worry about what persons out there saying or what rumors are starting up about you. Just focus on what you need to do. You know what you need. We know what we need to do as leaders.
Recognizing the importance of employers in labor, leaders have taken time out to select an Employer of the Year. The proprietor of Municipal Service Station on East Sunrise and Coral Road was voted the Employer of the Year. The family-run business has been in operation since 1984 with 24 employees. Manager Robert Anglade says for him, it is all about compassion.
Very often I'm told that I should fire this person or fire that person. And, you go the extra mile, you bring them to the office, you talk to them, you try to find out what's going on. And most of the time, at least for me, I find that you're able to find, a midpoint and work with them.
The honorees were all presented with awards during the Night of Labor ceremony at the Bahamas Public Services Union Hall. Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
The Labor Day holiday tomorrow will kick off a long holiday weekend. Police say they will be beefing up patrols throughout the island to ensure that law and order is maintained. This added visibility coming as some observe an increase in criminal activity on the island. Jay Philippe has the story.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force has been making strides to restore peace and civility within the communities of Grand Bahama. But in recent time, there has been noted increase in armed robberies, particularly in the business community. Assistant Commissioner of Police Samuel Butler says officers will continue to do their part in the fight against crime.
These are young men, predominantly, who are participating in these acts of criminality. We believe there's still hope. As a community, we need to continue to band ourselves together and not give up on our young men, not condemn them for acts that certainly we do not encourage, but we need to continue to work with our young men in these communities, which has been just misdirected. And we seek to do that in the police department. We seek to continue to keep the streets of Grand Bahama free from criminality, and we will endeavor to do our best.
Butler also assured the Grand Bahama community that the police will be out in full force this holiday weekend.
We've already made our plans for the holiday weekend, and we will spare no effort. We've had our briefings already, and our streets will be filled with police officers during a 24-hour shift.
There has been an apparent increase in gun violence over the past 2 months in the inner city area of Freeport and in 8 Mile Rock as well. Butler says police will continue to actively monitor the streets to bring about a decrease in gun violence.
Guns do not have legs or mobility of its own. It is passing hands to hands. And we know already through our intelligence that it may not be as widespread because we've been tracing one weapon to more than one offense. But weapons are in our community. And I always like to say, when the entire community is watching, criminals cannot hide.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Also from police tonight, 3 suspects were captured over on the island of Abaco. Reports say around 10 yesterday morning. An armed suspect, while in the Treasure Key area, held up and robbed a female of her handbag that contained personal items before fleeing in a dark-colored vehicle. Officers acting on information were able to arrest 2 males in the Farm Road and Sandbank area. They recovered a dark-colored vehicle and the victim's handbag along with personal items. Later, officers arrested a female suspect and recovered a .22 pistol with 3 rounds of ammunition. Investigations are continuing, and all 3 suspects are expected to be arraigned before the magistrate court. Also from Abaco tonight, an accident on that island has claimed the life of a motorcyclist. Police say officers were called to Forest Drive around 6 this morning, where a black Mazda vehicle and a red Honda motorcycle were involved in a head-on collision. The driver of the motorcycle, a 35-year-old Abaco man, died on scene. As for the driver of the passenger in the Mazda vehicle, both residents of Marsh Harbor were treated at the Marsh Harbor Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Officers from Grand Bahamas Traffic Division will head to Abaco to assist with that investigation. And as we go to break, we're giving you another opportunity to win an all-access ticket to the 4th annual Grand Bahama Homecoming Concert. Tonight's question is, which dance hall artist inspired Munger Arnable's versatile style? And head over to our Facebook page at ZNS Bahamas Northern Service, find the question, and be the first person to answer all parts of the question. And also, congratulations to last night's winner, Johnny Sherroll. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.